who's most to blame for the Sixers' struggles?
Clearly Ben Simmons. I mean, he's an all-star. Where's the all-star Ben Simmons? We could all point to Embiid. Embiid had one monster game that had Mark Jackson, who's seen a center or two, saying, that dude's an all-time great right now. Right now. I mean, by the way, and he won that game. And let's look at the series. It's knotted up 2-2. It is knotted up 2-2. Raptors are better than the Sixers, but it's knotted up 2-2. You know why it's not 3-1? Embiid. Whatever you want to say about him and his ailing health and da-da-da, that's true and all that stuff. He's had an impact on defense. And one game he won by himself. Look, it's Ben Simmons. The fact of the matter is this. When Embiid is limited in that way, his mobility is limited, he's hamstrung in some way, you need a creator on the perimeter. You need an offensive creator on the perimeter. What's Ben Simmons? He's supposed to be a point guard. In the open court, he's great. But in the half court, they put him in the dunker spot. He's not even a point guard. Like, let's be honest about what this is. He's an all-star in the regular season. Some of his numbers are similar, but he's not the guy they need him to be. The Greek Freak, the question is, can he shoot? But the Freak is in his glory right now, right? So he can do it other ways. Ben Simmons is a couple years away from being that if he ever gets to that, right? He has a similar kind of skill set. Maybe he can one day be that. He's not that right now. So without a shot, without real half-court ability to orchestrate an offense, when the whole thing is Embiid, and if it's not Embiid, they got to rely on Jimmy Butler. The issue on the team right now is Ben Simmons.
Well, let me say this. I mean, I'll leave it to Jay because Jay is far more qualified than me to teach you the game of basketball. I mean, there's hope for you, Max. There really, really is. But on this particular instance, I'm going to tell you something. If you've watched this series, okay, what Brett Brown has done is he's taken Ben Simmons off the ball and given most of Ben Simmons' responsibilities to Jimmy Butler.
And why
That's
is that?
why Jimmy Butler has shined. Well, we know because Ben Simmons is not a shooter. But what I'm talking to you about is in terms of this series, because we know that even though he can't shoot the basketball, he's more formidable than a guy that scores 6, 10, and 10 in the first 3 games of the series. I think we recognize that about Ben Simmons. We have to understand that. Or, the last 3 games, rather. The fact of the matter is because you look at Jimmy Butler, and Jimmy Butler has shown as a backup point guard, essentially, even though he's a starter, but taking those responsibilities and being more aggressive. Jay Williams, just the other day, I was telling Max, if you have a guy like Kawhi that's averaging 37.7, that's shooting 60% from the field for crying out loud, that has scored at least 33 points in the 5 of the 8 playoff games he's played this year, that shoot from three-point range at a 40% clip, doing all the things that he's done, it's not enough to have somebody like an Embiid or somebody who doesn't play his position to do their thing. You have to have somebody that's going up against him, reminding him, excuse me, I'm here too, because that helps. I put the onus on Embiid more than Simmons because this is the guy that's 7'1", 260 plus with the versatility that he has. And Max, here's what I pay attention to. I understand his impact in terms of him being on the floor and the fact that he's on the floor from a just de facto position. He's formidable. My point to you, Max, do you realize that in at least 2 of the 4 games that he's played, all right, and in the three of the 4 games outside of game 3, y'all, he shoot like 9 of 43 from the field, about a 26% clip. But 2 of those 4 games, Jay, Max, do you realize we ain't even talking about this guy's injury? He's sick. He's got the runs wait, what I'm saying this to you is this. This is the playoffs, man. What are you doing to take care of yourself? What level of discipline are you exercising? What are you putting into your body? What level of rest are you getting? How focused are you on really going up and really pursuing a championship? This ain't the regular season, mind you. Listen, the man texted his coach at 6:28 in the morning. 6:28 in the morning and say, I don't know. I don't know if, listen, the game's at 3:30, Max. And the man said, I don't know if I'm going to play. 6:30 in the morning and 3:30.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jay.
Real quick on this one. So I understand the numbers that could lend to your argument, Max, because if you look at Ben Simmons averaging 10 points, he was minus 14 in their last game. He's only had 3 free throw attempts in this series. I can understand that. But, like, I've been watching TV shows this past week where we were comparing Joel Embiid to generational centers, right? We were saying he is a freak of nature. We never seen something like this. And maybe it's me. Maybe because I'm way too competitive. Maybe it's because I know what kind of player I potentially could have been or how I would think. I would never have the audacity to send my coach a text at 6:20 in the morning, regardless of whether I was sick or not, saying, I'm unsure if I will be able to go today or not. Not game 4 in the playoffs, man. Not my whole year. This is what legacy is built upon.
Did he go?
How I show up in this moment. Yeah, he did go, but still, why are you even doing that? I think he is a generational talent, but I think there's a level of maturity there that does not resonate with the player that we want him to be. I'm not sure that Joel Embiid wants to be a killer. I don't see him being a killer yet. Because you know what a killer would do? A killer wouldn't tell people he was sick. A killer would come into that game, maybe he have a bad game, but he still wouldn't come on a post-press conference and say, you know what, I was sick, I wasn't feeling good. I would never say that. I don't think you ever hear Kobe Bryant say that. You wouldn't hear some of the best say that. And also, if I did have a great game, I still wouldn't tell you I was sick. I would let the ball boy or somebody else tell you to build my legend. I think that overall mindset of who Joel Embiid
Do you think that's
right
necessary, or is there another way? In other words, I hear what you're saying. That's something a lot of great players
But in
have
game
in
1,
common.
he didn't play because he didn't feel great. He
And Max,
was
before
injured.
you speak,
He
He was injured.
Max.
I understand that, but he was injured. I can't play because
By the
I'm
way,
injured.
Stephen A. Ben Simmons was a minus 16 yesterday, and with him as the closest
He was
defender
minus 24 in the first game,
and
too.
by the
I
way,
understand
and with him as the closest defender to Kawhi, Kawhi went 5 of 7.